Hello. I think we're live. Oh my God, this is my first live. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Are you here? Is it starting up? Oh, Lord. Let's see if it's starting. Let's see if it's starting. That's so fascinating that this is not working. Oh, Lord. Let's get it together, y'all. Let's get it together. Is it working now? Is it working now? Is it working? Hi. If anyone can see me, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. If anybody can see me, let me know. Are we live? We just did this, I feel. Oh. I thought it was already working, but now it's not working. Because, mind you, we just did a 30-minute live. Do you know you have 30 minutes? 30, yes. Hi, can you guys hear me? It literally is not showing up on my screen, but I thought it was already working. Now it's not. Let's get into it because it seems like it's working, but it is not showing up over there. So let's get into it. Hi, everyone. I'm Maria. Hopefully you know this by now. And that's why you're here. All right. I recently did a video on, looking at quality of things to wear. So I'm actually going to do my makeup while we do this because I got places to be and I just kind of wanted to have a conversation with everyone. But it is my very first live with a whole setup. So hopefully it's good enough and you can hear me, y'all. But if you've ever felt like, you have a ton of clothes to wear, but then you always have nothing to wear, or you get new clothes and, it's going bad, 2-3 washes, it's gone, pretty much destroyed. Yeah, this live is for you. Welcome. Let's talk about it, okay? I'm going to be doing my makeup while this. Like I said, I got a place to be and I have things to do, but yeah, let's do it. All right, I'm just going to be doing my makeup while we talk, but I guess let's do a little preview, right? I actually just wanted to talk to you today on how to level up your closet. I keep looking over the screen, but yeah. Level up your closet, your wardrobe, and understanding the fabrics, construction, material, what to really look for when you are looking at a clothing, like a piece of clothing, and obviously how not to overspend, in my opinion. If you watch my last video, which I talk about why a lot of things that we buy now is pretty much just polyester. And again, if you like that video, you should know. Polyester is like good, I would say, for certain things in small quantities. Like maybe workout clothing or something, you can get away with it because of the type of like the way the material is wicking away your sweat or things of that nature. But the whole point is that you don't want to be wasting your money on low quality items, low quality pieces. We're seeing that a lot now in literally everything. I feel like we're like polyester gate at this point because you buy bed sheets rather than linen, we're getting polyester. You buy clothing that may be pricey even, like we talked about in the other video, rather than it being Um, Great quality. You're getting polyester. And so, you know, I think a lot of having good quality clothing is not just the material, because the material is like top, in my opinion, but also how you take care of it, what you wear it for. Like the type of material determines what you're going to be doing that for. You get what I mean? But I'm going to see if I can do all of this and my makeup at the same time. So let's see. I'm just going to put my makeup on. Oh, so let's get into it. I'm going to start out with my concealer. I actually need to get more. Miss Pat McGrath, you're killing the game. This thing is amazing. I have a little bit of mirror here for you. I'm gonna just a little. Okay, my little makeup tidbits here. So, and you definitely drop your comments below. I'm actually trying to see your comments because the chat is not working and I need it to work. Do you know what I mean? Let's see, because I really want to be able to interact and people and see and talk to people while we're doing this. It says it's connecting, but of course it's not. So, we'll see. I'm really trying to see if this is working properly, but you know what? We move. Okay, we move, guys. So right, so fast fashion, well, my little thingy here. Fast fashion definitely has us buying a lot of things we don't need. We all know this by now, okay? It's super cheap, okay? I'm not really even gonna come too hard for you because really, I definitely, me, myself, and I definitely fell into the trap of the Shein. It was cheap. And let's be honest, it's not just Shein. It's a lot of other brands too that are very similar or they do the same thing. Like I talked about in my last video, some of them, a lot of these brands are now using the same factories. So it's not necessarily just Shein anymore, but I do know Shein is one of the worst offenders out there in this moment as we speak, right? But Shein is not there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with my Huda Kunafa Easy Bake. Trying to get that to focus a little bit there. All right. So just put this on. I can barely talk and do this at the same time, but you know. In the past, obviously, clothes were made to last. At least that's what we saw, you know. I remember when I was younger, my grandparents would have clothes from like the 70s and 80s, and I'm talking like 2000s, 2010s when I was growing up, and they would still be wearing those same clothes from the 80s and 70s, like 30 years later, right? 30 years later. And now you buy something from Shein and it's falling apart. You buy something from, I mean, Shein's again the worst example, but let's even go to a pricier price point, right? You buy this, I bought a couple of things. I'm not even going to name too many names, but I've bought some stuff from a few brands. And what would you believe it? $200, $300 item, barely usable. I wonder why. I wonder why. Why is it barely usable? One, I mean, in my opinion, a lot of brands now are trying to cash in on the whole idea that people are shopping a lot. So I think they definitely don't want things that last anymore. So even if they're a good brand, a brand that we're supposed to trust for their quality, it still won't work. And I'm trying to log in right now. So let's see if this thing will work again. Let's try another way. Let's try my password so that way I can see my chat, y'all. Because Miss Mamas is trying me, even though it literally just worked. But you know, let's try this again. This is the live part of everything, isn't it? Let me use my phone. I'm gonna use my phone a little bit there. Let me use my passcode. I'm just gonna do it from here because this is absolutely something else in it. All right, let me just copy and paste, and hopefully now it works because it's not. Let's see how that works. Is that working? Okay. Let's see. Oh, fascinating. You see how interesting that is? Like, I literally put the same password, but then it wants to be problematic. It says, yeah, don't ask me. Say again, don't ask me. I don't care. Like, hello? Like, I literally put in my password. Just go, go. Is it going? I actually don't think it's going. For some random reason. We still can't see our chat. We still can't. And then I really want to be able to see our chat here, and Miss Mama's is not letting me. I just want to use my password. Can I use my password and just stop bothering me? Is that it? Thank you. I don't need verification. I don't need it. Yeah, text me. Text me my stuff. Text it to me. Oh. Oh, okay, now it's working. We love it. I have to open the YouTube app, which I'm already in BTW, to then see it, which took forever. Yes, it's me. It's me, Jessica. I'm in here. Doesn't matter. Just let me go. I don't need to do this right now. Are we really trying to set up my account right now? Right. Thank you. Finally, we have our messages, our chat, I think. And hey, there's a first time for everything. This is my first live chat, so I understand there may be some things. I'm going to make sure that I can have it up on my screen here so that way if anyone is chatting about something, I can see it. But, you know, it's always something. But I think in everything, you just have to be willing to roll with the punches. And this is the punches. This is the punches. I don't know, but we're in it. We're in it. This is literally my first live, guys. Like, legit, my first live. And I am loving it. Maybe. If I could, oh, look, it's finally working. It only took me opening a whole new page for this to work. So, yes. Now, hi, Ella. Hi, Ella. I'm so glad I can see messages now. Oh my God. Hi, Ella. Welcome. I'm so glad you're joining. Thanks for joining. I am totally open to all questions, but let's get back to it because we are here to talk about clothing and like quality of clothing and what to look for when you're shopping. And let me just make sure my screen's working. Perfect. All right. Can I see my comments here as well? All right, great. I think we're good. But yeah, hi Ella. Like I said, we're gonna be talking about clothing. Understanding fabric types, understanding how to take care of those fabrics, identifying quality fabrics that you should be looking for, looking at construction of clothing, which I talked about in my other video, and then of course, maintenance and care tips, which are so important. Even if you do have great clothes and you don't take care of it, they're gone. So I already prepped my face before I started the yapping. and I did my concealer and my powder. I'm not going for a full glam today because like I'm literally just going out and just chilling, but I obviously want to do what I do. Um, I'm gonna be doing that while we talk, you know. So, whatever. Let's do it, okay? Um, right. Fabric. Let's talk about fabric. I don't know if anybody knows. Oh, hi, you saw me today? Great. Are you into clothing at all? I'm totally like, tell me, what is your clothing challenge? Like, be honest. When you shop, do you look at the labels? Are you looking at labels when you shop, or do you just look at the style? Are you just like, I'm here, I'm looking to see where I can buy this style, or this thing is trendy to me, or this is just something I've always wanted, and that's what you typically go for? Or do you say, you know what, I have to check the clothing first? I'll be honest, I am actually not even judging anyone at all. I myself, when I first started buying a lot of clothes at first, I would just buy whatever. I would buy whatever was trendy, whatever I like to see. I would just buy. And again, I think that's what it is with fast fashion, right? You just end up buying a lot of stuff that you don't necessarily need. It ends up being a lot of stuff that's just fashionable or trendy. And I think, what you say? I don't buy anything I'm not buying anything in the moment. I'm more of a no buy year as long as yeah. You know what? Me and you both. I wouldn't say I'm in a no buy year. I would say this is more of a low buy year for me. I still have certain things for sure on my list that I want to buy, but I do think having the mindset of a no buy is very sustainable, or at least very helpful to getting to, at least in my opinion. I always try no buy and then I end up being low buy instead. And that for me has been more sustainable. I go in with the mindset, I'm not going to buy anything at all. And then I end up buying a little bit, but I still know that I'm on the path to, not buying. But I do think having a no buy, I started having no buys or low buys about 2 years ago. I realized, like I said, especially because I'm in the space where I do fashion and content and all the stuff, it's so easy to get caught up in the rat race of buying. I'm always like, you see someone else who just did like an unboxing, you see someone else who's doing like a haul, and you're like, okay, in order for me to keep up, especially as a content creator on my side, right? I gotta buy all this stuff. And then it got to a point where it was like, my closet is full of junk. It's full of stuff that I don't use. It's full of stuff that's bad, not just for the environment, for my body, for my wallet. So I commend you doing the no buy. I wish you good luck on the no buy. I think you can totally do it. I'm just saying, to be honest, I bought a lot of fast fashion and I have a lot of clothes for the next 15 years. You and me both. You and me both. Because can I be real with you? You and me both. I literally got to a point where it was like, I have so much stuff, and I would buy a bunch of stuff that I couldn't even wear places. I couldn't even wear it. I couldn't wear it to work. I couldn't wear it because it was just like not good, or it wasn't work appropriate. I just bought it because of a trend. So I had a bunch of polyester. Let's get to this little. Right now, I am using my Merit little blush here. I'm always scared of blush because it causes. I don't want to look clownish. You know what I mean? I don't want to look clownish, but we'll blend. We'll blend, okay? But what was I gonna do next? Yes, I was gonna. I'm gonna do blush. I'm gonna do my eyeliner next because yeah, my eyeliner next because I think that's the next step for my eyes. Now, if I could find my eyeliner, that would be great. But I can't. So, yes. First of all, you're in the boat in the sense that, like, when it comes to buying stuff, I just bought a bunch of stuff. And that's the thing, okay? TikTok is like in this weird space right now where it was banned literally yesterday in the US and now it's back. right, Emily? I know you're in Germany, but in the US, it was banned and now it's back. But um, one thing I would say is TikTok kind of fueled definitely the overspending. A lot of people were always doing a haul, and I talk about this in a lot of my videos. A lot of people do hauls and hauls and hauls, and it's really for what? Like, I mean, they're probably getting paid for it, which is totally fine. I've been there. I'm just saying, like, it makes it, I feel, so normalized to constantly go and buy something all the time, and then you end up buying exactly what they talked about. And mind you, especially with this trend that people said, I don't know if you saw that trend where people are like, since TikTok's about to leave, let me confess this. And then you see a bunch of people confessing stuff that they actually did and not what they showed us, which, guys, you should know this by now. And I think that's part of where I felt like I can't lie and just say, like, oh, I'm wearing this outfit to work, and then I'm not wearing that outfit to work. That doesn't make any sense. And it's not realistic when someone else goes and tries to wear it, and then you're like, how the hell did she do it? Exactly. Um, Really, I've just kind of been leaning more into the MVP of fabrics, in my opinion. We're talking the cotton, wool, linen, silk, and it's a little bit pricier. Those things tend to be a little bit more pricey because, of course, you know, the quality, especially if you're getting organic cotton, organic everything, it's a bit more expensive. It takes time to source, it takes time to find these things. And I'm just doing my eyeliner right now. I'm gonna go in. I can't talk while doing my eyeliner, so that's just what it is. Okay. Okay. Eyeliner. Okay, I think I'm liking that. We'll come back. I know we have all this color variation going on, but we're gonna get where we need to go, guys. We're gonna get there. But yeah, looking at like the cotton, linen, wool, silk, those are things that have always been around for a reason. Those are things that last for a reason. You say you try to avoid buying polyester, but it was not easy. Mostly I get cotton, viscose. Okay. Shein had some bohemian dresses in viscose, and I need bigger sizes. You know what? That is a very true statement. You said something, Ella, that's real, okay? Shein is not great, but you know one thing they do have? Size inclusion. A lot of companies do not cater to bigger size people. It's always small, medium, large. Maybe you get an extra large. And that to me is not right. And I think that's where Shein really, really thrived or really, really succeeded because, like, they have variety, they have options. And it's a good and a bad thing, obviously. And also, by the way, I'm just going to use my soft glam palette. But they have options. They give you variety for a good price, right? There were very few brands other than like Eloquy or something that would be catered to plus size people. And so let's be real. Um, let's be real, okay? Because I'm being real. Shein definitely targeted that market very successfully. So, like I said, I'm not gonna come in here and say don't shop Shein. I've done Shein haul in the past. It's unlisted now because I just don't want to keep like pushing them personally. But I've done it in the past because it was one affordable. And that's the big thing. People are going to buy in the price range they can afford. I say it all the time because it just makes no sense for someone to go and buy something and like how are you going to pay for it, right? So the fact of the matter is polyester is in everything, and we keep buying these polyester things. You change sizes very often, yeah, real. So I keep my clothes. Yeah, she is going to size inclusion, and they are. Let's be real, they are. all these other brands talk about, you should buy sustainable and you should buy quality. And that's great. It's great in retrospect, great in concept, great in idea. But the reality of the matter is that if you don't have clothes that people can wear at a price that they can afford to, people are going to go where they can afford. People are going to go to stores that they can afford those things at. Now, I do think that like the infiltration of polyester in everything is kind of out of hand now. I mean, especially for me, I find like I was getting like rashes on my skin, sensitivity to clothing, to the bedding, to the couch, to every single thing. And it was because of polyester. And polyester is a synthetic fiber, and it's good for certain things, okay? Polyester, nylon, they're good for certain things. If you're wearing, like I said, if you're going for working out or something, a polyester or nylon blend may not be the worst thing, okay? Because everyone's like, no more polyester, no more. No, listen, Linda. It's not gonna be the worst thing. It's good, especially when you're really sweating, or you're gonna have like a bag that, if something falls on it, you can wipe it off really quickly. Great for that, especially, bags for shopping or groceries or things like that. But it doesn't mean that it can't be reinforced with better quality or better material, better fiber. But now all we see is polyester, which is just plastic, and we are literally just destroying the planet. Like, let's be real, right? And I keep talking so much I never do my makeup, but I'm gonna get to it. Let's get to it. Oh, by the way, I am using my List makeup. I don't know if you can see that, but I am using my List makeup. This is in DN5. So I'm just using my Hourglass brush here, which is my amazing go-to brush. I don't really do, I mean, I do, like a full bake, because like my face has been baking for a minute now because I've been talking for a minute. But listen, like I said, it is just a light makeup. And as you can tell, I tend to have more medium combination skin, but I'm getting distracted here. So let me wipe this off. I have a little wipe button. I haven't done my mascara. So yeah, polyester. Polyester is good, right? For stuff that you don't want wrinkles in. It's good for things that that if it wrinkled or it got messed up, like I said, grocery bags, things like that, you'll be fine. It's not a big deal. It's polyester, it's plastic. It will totally be fine. Nylon, same thing. Stretchy. You have this again in workout clothing. It's super durable. It's good for active wear, like I mentioned. You have the viscose rayon ones as well. They feel like silk, but they are obviously synthetic. Okay, they are synthetic, y'all. But a lot of times when they say silk now, when you buy something, it says silk. Okay, well, y'all, come on. It is silk, and it's feels like silk, but really it's viscose. Feels like silk, but it's really rayon. It's cheap, easy to make, plastic. It doesn't last as much. None of these things last as much. I mean, especially depending on even like I talked about in my other video, GSM, right? If you're looking at the grams per square meter of that fabric and it's only like 50 for this item, you can see through it. It's gonna go bad. It is not gonna work. Is that fluffy polyester pullover in the winter? Okay, belongs in the summer. No, and like I said, that's exactly what I was saying. I live in Miami, right? So it is hot most of the time. And can you imagine that, like, that's exactly what you're saying with the summer thing. It's mostly summer here. At least I can get it in the winter. In the winter, when I do wear my polyester mostly based long sleeve stuff, I'm like, okay, not bad. But in the winter, I kid you not, I would get literal like dermatitis rashes on my skin because it was like I felt like I was in plastic, like wrap me up, feeling brand new, right? I was in plastic. And like I said, right? Me personally now, I still end up buying because polyesters and everything. blends. So I could get a cotton poly blend. So typically I like to have something that's, if I have to buy a blend, I will make it a majority natural fiber over the synthetic fibers. Okay? Because plastic, polyester, rayon, all this stuff are from petroleum based items. So you're pretty much putting gas, petroleum, think gas, petroleum, right? You're putting this thing on your body. Petroleum is a fuel mostly for cars, engines, and things like that. But then they're made into plastic and we put in our bodies. Then you wash them, and then you have microplastics in everything, right? And they say we have microplastics in our bodies. It's affecting, reproductive health, just regular health, not just productive health, just your health in general. Like I just talked about the rashes and everything. But it has become such an epidemic because everything is synthetic now. Synthetic polyester, nylon, rayon, viscose. Again, not necessarily all bad. You can have these things, in my opinion, for certain things like workout clothing and active wear. And like you said, in the winter, you can have a blend of these things and they're totally fine. But you end up a lot of times putting these unsafe materials on our body. Why is it prevalent now? It's cheap. Like everything is polyester now. Everything is polyester, petroleum based, or plastic, or some blend of some new polyurethane or poly PU, all these things. It's cheap, it's fast to make, it's in everything. So they're like, why not? Let's just keep pushing it on people. So Ella, how do you check? Do you ever check for like quality when you shop, or do you just shop online? Because I feel like maybe people get away with it because I shop online. But do you shop online or in person? It seems like you may be shopping online, which is totally fine. Again, no judgment. I shop online. But I think that may be part of the problem. A lot of times we we shop online and we aren't able to look at the material, aren't able to put it up to the light to see the construction. So we're not able to even see, okay, even if it is cotton, is it a low grade cotton? Is it organic or not? Is it just like, passed through barely any standards at all? Like, what kind of cotton am I getting? Let me do my lip. Ooh. I'm going to use the Super Stay Matte ink. It's one of my favorite. I'm already getting close to the end of my makeup here. Do a line here. Okay. And I'm going to use my NYX Butter Gloss. I like that. I like a 3D effect. Got a little mirror right there. All right. Let me put my earrings on here. Got my earrings. But yeah, let's play a game. If you could wear one fabric forever, Ella, which one would it be? When I shop in person, it's mostly secondhand. That's good. That's good. And I said in my other video, if you can find something and it's already holding on past one user, you're in good hands. You're in good hands. If you could wear one fabric forever, forever, which one would it be? For me, it probably would be cotton and linen. Especially, like I said, in the Miami weather, you need the cotton and linen because it is so hot. It's just so hot. For me, the worst I've ever worn is polyester. What about you? Trying to see your response. If you see me looking over, it's because I have a camera right in front of me. I'm like, putting this off to the side there. Cotton, yep. Wait, but there's a discussion to ban cotton in 2030 or 2050 in the European Union. Ooh, wow, okay, good to know. I actually did not know that. I'm guessing this is like due to the production aspect of it. Maybe it's not as sustainable as it used to be once upon a time, I would imagine. Let me do my hair. That's probably what I'm thinking. That's why I was saying organic cotton or organic all of these items now, because I can see it also not being sustainable. In my other video, I talked about luxury brands and how, no joke, this is a shock. Like, I'm really shocked. So I was like, do you know why? Is there a reason? I have to look this up. I'm going to look it up right now. Cotton. Cotton ban in the EU. Ooh. Oh. It says that this is from Reuters, the European Parliament approved on Tuesday to ban in the EU the sale of, this is for forest labor, cotton, polyester. I'm trying to see what's going on with this cotton thing. If you know, let me know, because I've literally not heard about the cotton issue. But yeah, so cotton for you is the best and polyester is the worst. It's probably the same for me. Cotton is probably the best. Linen is probably the second best for me. And I do find, I'll be honest with you, silk, whether silk or the rayon silk version, rayon viscose, that's supposed to be silk or silk-like, I find they tend to be just a bit more high maintenance. And we're going to get to that with a maintenance issue or maintenance aspect. But my biggest thing that I really want to help people with is looking at the garment construction. I'm not sure when they'll decide this. Yeah, I couldn't see it online when I was looking real quick, but if I hear any news about it, I was sure to see it, because I do feel like in the EU, people tend to they care more, at least when it comes to the health aspect of the population, whereas America is more for profit. Since we are a for-profit country and ran by corporations, they don't really necessarily care about any standard because, well, I'm going to set my makeup because I'm like, I need to do some, let me set this, right? I feel like people tend to, forgot one thing. No, I know I keep going back and forth there, but there we go. I just want to brush it in, reduce some of the glare there. Okay. But one thing I really want to help people with is like evaluating their garment, the construction of the clothes. Okay. If you go into the store, or if you don't even go to the store, because I know you say you do secondhand shopping, but if you were just to go online, you can actually, I'll be real with you, you can tell some of those clothes are not good. And what do I mean? I mean, literally zoom into the photo, zoom into of the model, and you will see whether the fabric is pulling, right? The fabric is pulling, oh, let me dust off. Whether the fabric is pulling a little bit, whether it's not laying properly, whether there are some zigzags happening on the shirt. Like, as much as I love this one, I can tell it's maybe mid quality. Got this a while ago, so I'm not going to give it up, and I do like it. But, you will see if there's like threads that are not sewn in properly. Or you will see that why is this line go here, but then it stops here. Buttons are the biggest thing. Now, you can't really tell the quality of a button until you get it in yourself or get it, and then you're like, oh my God, this thing's falling apart. But look at where the button is, even on the model. Is it making an S shape because it's literally pulling on the fabric? One, that fabric is either thin, not good quality, the buttons are not sewn properly. All of these, red flag, red flag, red flag. You said the EU want designers and producers to come with new innovative fabrics, but I would rather ban polyester. It takes 200 years to break down in a landfill. Real. And that's what I was saying. Outside of the body impact, it's the environmental impact as well. Not only are we going after this material, petroleum, that's literally, what is it, from fossil fuels? We're not going to get that back. Like, we just keep going to the source, keep destroying the planet, not just in making the clothing, but in actually landfill aspect. Because then you wear the clothes, it doesn't fit you, it's not good, it got messed up within 1 or 2 washes, and it ends up in a landfill. And then you end up being like, why did I buy this? One, it was not a waste of money, but now waste of money. The fact that they had to ship it to you from wherever it came from, that's that's energy, that's more gas, petroleum, whatever it is that they use to ship it or fly it to you, all for it to end up in a trash pile from a trash mountain somewhere. And for what? For something that, because it was $5-10 cheaper than maybe going for the slightly higher quality. And don't get me wrong, like I said, people could buy in the price range they can afford, myself included, right? So I'm not gonna go buy something just because I'm like, oh, it's gonna last me forever, and now I'm gonna go spend like $1,000 on it. That just doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna go to a company that does the same, but in a quality way, right? Zara, Temu, and Shein, everything. It'll be there in like a week, but And Zara was actually one of the biggest fast fashion brand, or at least they were the one that really started this trend. And I know Temu and Shein really took it off, but Zara was the one that, and in my other video I touched upon it, they would have their own factories in Spain. They would make these clothing from their factories to their stores. It was like a direct line of being able to see what productions or which items were selling out the most. And then they would make hundreds of thousands of those items. Meanwhile, they made like maybe 20 different clothing already to test out the market, to see if people really like it, to see what people really were saying about it, in order for them to then mass order or mass create one other item, or the one that's really selling out the most. So Zara was really, they really are the king and queen or whatever of fast fashion. And you would know this because Inditex, which is their parent group that owns Zara, I believe they also have, is it H&M? I think they have some other like COS, other brands with them. It's not just Zara, but they are a big, big I would say, face of fast fashion in a negative way for me, because they've really changed the landscape of fast fashion. And I'm going to do my hair right now because I would love to get it to a point where it looks, decent for going out. I'm going to be wrapping up this live in like 10 minutes. But yeah, like, I really want you to go into the store if you are going to the store, even if you are secondhand shopping, because that's another thing now. I've noticed too, and the last time I think I went secondhand shopping, a lot of the items there were what? Fast fashion items. Because people donate them to secondhand clothing, again, myself included, because I've donated stuff that I was like, oh, and that's why I'm sticking more with like low buy and no buy, because I just don't even want to contribute to the cycle of this fashion landscape that we're in right now. But yeah, look at your item of clothing. Have you literally ever had like a button pop in the middle of the day, or a zipper that just like broke at work? Real life stories. That's just the low quality. And things aren't being made the way they were made once upon a time. Cotton from Levi's 10 years ago is not the same cotton now. Even polyester from 10 years ago is not the same now. I had stuff from Forever 21 from 10, 15 years ago that I still have now. And I know I bought some stuff 5 years ago and it's gone. I literally don't have it anymore. Literally. Because it shrunk up, was torn apart, or the zipper broke. I try to fix it because I do sew some of my stuff back if it messes up. And yet here we are, right? No, it's actually crazy, because if you're gonna have these items that are going bad or popping up, not worth it. And then let's get into cost per wear, because I know now there's this big push where people will say, oh, let's just buy from a more expensive brand. They buy this more expensive brand and they wear it 3 times. And now a shirt that costs $100 worn 3 times costs you $33.30 each wear. And I am very, very big, very, very big like proponent or pusher, or I would say I definitely like to have my cost per wear be 0. Zero. So if I'm going to buy something, I am going to wear it to the max. I am going to get my money's worth. Whether I'm going to a restaurant, I am going to get my money's worth because I am spending my hard-earned money on these things, right? So think about it. Focus on the value that you're gonna get. If you're buying something and it's $50 and you see it's mostly polyester, you see it's mostly rayon or viscose, and it's not, more than likely you see it looks on the model a little see-through, it looks a little thin. And another tip for you, because it's something that I learned when I was shopping a lot, because I shop a lot, right? Or at least try not to. But one thing I would say is, if you see an item of clothing and you want to buy, the blue version of it, and they have blue, white, black, gray, all the colors, look at the model wearing different colors of the same item. More than likely, you will start to see the flaws or how that item, that piece of clothing, isn't actually holding up. Do you get what I mean? Or no? Literally look at the model. If the model is wearing a white t-shirt on the first one, and then another model is wearing the brown version, you will be able to tell whether it lays well or not based off, like, you could tell based off either the dye, the coloring, something will look off. Don't just go and buy the white version of the shirt or the blue version of the shirt. See which one would actually be good based off how it looks in different colors. Because that's another, like, a shopping hack that I figured out. I want to buy something in a blue that's blue, and I see that they have white, gray, purple. I will look at each of them and how each of them lay on the model. If the purple version of that does not look good, I'm not buying the white version of it. The purple told me what the white's gonna look like. And I know different dyes and everything may play a factor into that, but it's already giving me an indicator that there's no consistency across that item. So why would I go for it? You know? And like I said in my last video, expensive does not equal quality. Just because it costs $300, $400, I have clothes that cost around there, and then you find out it's acrylic. Another one, right? Acrylic and rayon or viscose blend. Who has time for that? For a $400 dress? Make it make sense. I can't. And if I'm not gonna get my quality or my price or money's worth from it, I'm not. That's a waste of money. Think about it. You spend money and time on this. You say you never know if the photos are photoshopped. Yeah, that's true too. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I said. That's why I feel across the board. If you look at, especially if they have multiple colors of the same item, right? Their Photoshop starts to fail. It's almost like they got lazy, because I've done graphic design. I went to school for architecture. It's almost like the Photoshopper gets lazy towards the end, and you can always tell when they didn't fully get something. That's why I'm saying look at all of the other items there, because you'll be able to tell where, like, oh, I think the Photoshop didn't work here. That's my little, it's not always across the board 100%, but it has not failed me in my times of shopping recently. Because if I was going to get it in a shirt or a dress and I look at another color of it and it looks a mess, that's the truth. That's the truth of that item. Like, being real with you, you know? So yeah, you have to think about your cost per wear. You're spending money on this, your hard-earned money, and you want it to cost zero. At least for me, zero is ideal. You want to get your wear out of it. And in fact, it would be great to be able to pass it on to, like, my sister or a friend or someone else who wants it, maybe because I'm not able to use it anymore. And that's what I try to do now. But, just be able to give it to someone else and not have it end up in a landfill. You said, by coincidence, I looked up Balenciaga. One dress made of polyester, $3,900. Yup. In my last video, I had a TikTok of someone talking about a Balenciaga dress that was $500, which is around 3,900 euros, I would imagine, and all polyester. Why would it be all polyester? Why are we not using materials that are quality? But I think we are in that era right now that brands know that they'll make money regardless. People want to wear these things that are expensive, pricey. I'm just checking my phone here. People want to wear these things that are expensive or expensive, pricey, and look good. Oh, it looks good. Well, Name wise, it looks good. But the whole time they're suffering in this clothing. Does that make sense? Just because it's pricey, I don't like. Before it used to be okay, it's expensive, it's a quality brand or luxury brand, and you will get luxury clothing. That's not true anymore. So if that's not true anymore, why do we keep doing it? But let's get on to the next one. I want to talk about this next segment because even if you do buy quality clothing, even if you are very, very strict about your clothing, you're buying even if buying secondhand, I would say take care of your clothes. Care and maintenance of clothing is so important. All right? Like look at the labels on a clothing. If it says don't put this in the dryer, don't put it in the dryer. If you put it in the dryer, it may fray, it may cause it to slightly distort. Like there are certain things, like I remember, and I felt so bad about this. I accidentally put my husband's tux in the dryer and the thing shrank ever so slightly and just made it unusable for him to like move his arms because it was not meant to be put in the dryer. Now, I will be honest, I do this thing where some items will say dry clean only, and I'll still wash it in my washing machine. But I do not dry it because that's another element. Unless you do a cold dry or just air it out, I typically just hang it to dry. But read the instruction on the label. Overwashing your clothes too, not great. Now, I love to have clean clothing, but you cannot just say, okay, well, I didn't even, like, first of all, let's be clear. If you get an item of clothing in a store, in the thrift store, wherever store you buy from, online, whatever, wash it, please. Don't get a rash, don't get a body injury or something. Please wash it. Because, I've had items of clothing that I was like, oh, let me just quickly wear this to try it out. Broke out in a rash just to try it out. And that's normal and that's the way it should be. But because again, the fabric of quality is not great, or the last person who tried it, they didn't clean it and they just shipped it right back out. Part of this whole fast fashion cycle. Fast fashion tells us quickly, 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 let's get it to the people. And just as quickly as it's getting to you, just like that, it's going straight into the trash. Going straight. It's not sustainable. It's just not something that's worth it. Like I had to learn this lesson the hard way financially, and I would say also health wise, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, air dry when possible. Air dry your clothes. Trust me. Like I said, I know I literally have a clothes rack in my bedroom, and that's where I air dry everything. For the most part, any item of clothing that's super important or a little bit pricey, or like I know it's a good quality item, I will wash in the washing machine and I will air dry. Air dry your clothes. Okay, and I know because you're in Europe, you maybe air dry more than Americans do, but Americans air dry your clothes, okay? Especially when possible, because heat kills your fabric over time. It's just think about it. It's just heat, right? It's hot. It will shrink it. It will do something to that fabric. It will tighten it the way it was supposed to. Air dry your clothes, and then even important, like I mentioned earlier, right? If a button or something does pop off on something, don't say automatically, I'm done. This is going to the trash. Now it's landfill. It's a landfill issue now. No, try to sew it. Look up a tutorial on YouTube. Like I told you, if something pops off, and I'm just gonna throw some of my stuff away. But if something pops off on my clothing, I try to sew it myself. Now I've had some clothing pieces that are not actually even worth sewing it back, and I've tried to sew it and then it's like chaotic. But I try to sew these things up myself because one little fabric that snagged is not that crazy in the grand scheme of things. But you know what is crazy? Taking that piece of clothing and then throwing it out because one button fell off. And sometimes this happens, especially when you wash things in the dryer or something like that, or in the washing machine. Something will, get caught with each other in the wash, snags, and it could have been an okay quality, not the worst quality, or maybe it's been used quite a lot. But overall, just try to sew it back, because just because that button fell off or a thread came out or something is loose, I promise you, I literally learned sewing when I was like 7. Okay. Now I'm not a pro sewer. I'm not putting clothes together. Okay. Let's be honest, guys. I'm not putting clothes together. I'm just saying, truthfully, if it's worth it to you, if it's something that's valuable, if it's something you want to keep around in your closet, and it happened to have a mishap, a situation happening on the clothes itself, what would I say to you? Sew it. Look up a tutorial. That tutorial is saving the landfill. It's saving from stuff. Yes, YouTube is, before it was TikTok University, it was YouTube University. Okay, YouTube University is the home. It's actually the OG of universities, in my opinion. That's where I went to learn all my math, sciences when I didn't get it in school. That's where you want to go. Go to YouTube. Someone will show you how to do it in 5 minutes. Put it on 2x and go through it quickly and get to the point. You know what I mean? But what is your laundry pet peeve? Like, do you wash your clothes? Do you like clothes that are not, dry clean only, not dry clean only? I personally try to avoid dry clean only stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not. I like it to be washable. I'm kind of like a little bit of a neat freak, and I'm not the kind of person to be like, oh, I'm not gonna wash this. I will wash everything many times. But I do very much believe that, quality over quantity, right? If I have 5 pieces of clothing and they all last me for like 5 to 10 years, I've saved myself quite a bit of money. And at the end of the day, isn't that like the most amazing thing ever? I'm just putting some of my makeup away. And so if you hear me doing that, that's exactly what I'm doing. I love my makeup right now. Still love, you know? But yeah, so do you ever check the construction, seams, everything at all? How is like your return to buying ratio? I don't know if you have a return to buying ratio, but if you do, what is it? I'm trying to, like you said, you're on your no buy year. I would say I am on a no buy year, but I know myself and I would be lying. I would be lying if I said I was on a no buy year. I am on a low buy year. My intention is to not buy that much in general, not buy at all. But if I am gonna buy, if I am gonna add to my closet, I want it to be valuable. I want it to be something that will not just end up in a landfill. I don't want something after 2 washes that I can't use anymore. And I was super excited to wear this thing, right? I want something that lasts. And that comes with looking at evaluating the garment that you wear. All right, really seeing, is this gonna be something I'm actually gonna wear? Because, and that's another story of like, investment pieces and what to actually wear and how much you can use, like, items of clothing that you wear over and over again. There are some things that you just will wear over and over again. You wear, wide button down t-shirts more than likely than something that's patterned, right? So those are just something that's like, oh, I'm gonna get my cost per wear from it. You said I'll change my sizes again, hopefully, and it will be stupid to buy something new. Maybe, yes, sneakers, handbag, makeup. I mean, no, makeup is on the rise recently because, again, it doesn't matter what size you are. It just works, right? It's just something that you can still use regardless of sizing and changes that you go through, body, mentally, physically, if emotionally even. Because I think style is ever evolving. Our the things that we tend to lean to are ever evolving. You may always like certain things over the other, but over time, you may lean towards certain things over the other. And that's something that I find definitely is a key factor when it comes to closets and clothing in general. If your style is ever evolving, ever changing, which is true for most people, every 3 to 4 years, most people tend to be like, oh, I want to try this, or I want to do that. Buy the things that are staples first. I know, like, everyone's basic or everyone's core items may be different. But I promise, if you have the base items, like I talked about in my other video, the white button down top, the blue jeans, you have your blazers. Blazers are, important. They come in handy. You have your basic coat in black, blue, navy. Those type of things. End of the day, even when your style and all of that stuff changes, it's a coat, it's a jacket. You can still put it on. It still applies to what we're doing right now. So that's my thing. My number one thing, know your fabrics. Fabrics is super important. check your construction, how it sits. And even if you are shopping online and everything, look at the reviews. Trust me, the reviews will tell you. Somebody in there will say, I hate it or I love it. And in my opinion, look at the people who hate it more than people who love it, because they tell you the truth about what the item is like. I know sometimes they push the nice reviews to the top, so look at the truth, which may be the more negative one. And I don't want to be negative, but that's the truth of the matter in this situation. And then think about your cost per wear. That's number 3 for me. Think about how much money you're putting into this. You said, I guess all handbags, I bought all handbags secondhand, but not pricey stuff. And it does not have to be. Not like, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. It does not have to be pricey. It does not have to be expensive. It just has to be quality. It just has to last, because that thing that lasts will outshine at the end of the day the pricey stuff. He said, I'm totally into bohemian hippie clothing and I could wear it all the time. So this year I will do it. Do it. Ella, do it. I would love to see it. Like, send me photos, follow me on Insta, send me photos of you trying stuff out. Like, I'm all fashion everything. And I'm here to, like, again, help people learn from my mistakes, my thousands of dollars in buying clothes mistakes. So that's why I said, think about your cost per wear, but definitely do it. Wear the things that make you happy. Take care of your clothes so they last for a long time. But yeah, do you have any brands? Do you guys have any brands that you tend to go to that you're like, for the most part, tend to last or have good quality for the most part? Drop them in the comment below. I would love to know it. It has been great spending time with you guys. Thank you, Ella, for all your messages. I love the conversation. And thanks for following. Like I said, follow me on Instagram. I'm going to follow you back. I want to talk. So please follow me there. But yeah, if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and let me know how you liked it and all the things that you want me to talk about. Bye. Bye, guys. Oh my God, this was so fun. I'm going to do more lives.